Hello from students worldwide making dreams real in Türkiye. Join our exciting journey over the next few months from prestigious universities to beautiful cities and colorful social life. We're here to share the essence of being an international student in Türkiye. Curious about life here? Join us on this adventure. Türkiye Scholarships 2024 applications are coming up soon. Follow us to catch every moment.
Aim for higher, Türkiye Scholarships.
Hello everybody, welcome to our last and our final live stream for Türkiye Scholarship Program for the year 2024. We will be your hosts today. My name is Amna and this is my friend Riyad. We are here to share with you some of our own experiences here in Turkey as international students. We are here to tell you a bit about the program, its aims, its background, and to answer some of your questions if you guys have any, and we will do that at the end of the program. But let's warm up a bit first, shall we? Riyad, would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, yes, of course. Well, hello again, everyone. My name is Riyad. I'm from Kosovo, and I'm doing master's here in Turkey at Gazi University at the capital of Turkey. Yeah, you heard me right, in Ankara. Some of you might think that Istanbul is actually the capital of Turkey, but in fact, it's Ankara. I've been here for since 2021, and it's been such a great honor to be here in front of you to share our experiences during our studies. And as the days are ticking by for you to finish your application, we really urge you to finish it as early as possible. We want you to ask all the questions that you have in the comment chat below, so we try and answer it as best as we can. Amna, can you tell us what do you do here?
Yes, but before I start and talk a bit about myself, I would really like to point out how excited and happy I am to be here, to spend some time here with you, to help our new future students to answer their questions, and to share some experiences with them. It's been a wild ride, and it's been a while. But let me talk a bit about myself and introduce myself. My name is Amna, like I said. I am 23 years old. I'm a dentistry student. This is my 4th year here in Turkey. And I study at Eskişehir Osman Gazi University in the beautiful city of Eskişehir. And you know, it's Eskişehir, for me personally. I know that people who are watching will maybe want to will wish for Istanbul or Ankara or, I don't know, some seaside maybe, which is amazing, of course. But for me personally, Eskişehir has a very special place here in my heart. So, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling very, very excited, actually.
Definitely.
It's a great honor to be in front of you guys. So, yeah, we'll try our best to speak and say whatever our experiences were. I think we can start with a presentation.
Yes.
And give you guys the best advices that we can give, and also to give you a general idea about the scholarship.
Yes, so
Shall we?
Let's do it. Let me tell you something about the background of Türkiye Scholarship Program. So, it's a government-funded scholarship program, and it was funded back in 1960s. But it was officially branded as Türkiye Scholarship Program back in 2012. It's an official higher education scholarship program of Republic of Turkey. It gives you this amazing opportunity to study at the most prestigious universities here in this country. And it's, I would dare to say, the most comprehensive study program, scholarship program in the world. That is just a great opportunity and honor for international students who are able to get it. So, the perspective of this program, tell us about it.
Well, yes, this scholarship is offering successful and qualified international students the opportunity to study here in Turkey. It's establishing a big international environment at the higher education to ensure scientific and academic development. It's also building a network of future leaders committed to enhance the partnership between Turkey and their own respective country, which is really great opportunity.
Yes.
What about the numbers of this scholarship? Do we have some kind of data for that?
Of course we do. You know we came here ready. So, whenever you want to understand how successful one organization, one company is, you usually look at statistics, right? And the numbers. So, let me give you some updates about that. We have over 15,000 Türkiye scholarship students from 145 countries. Approximately 5,000 scholarships are granted each academic year, and interviews are held in nearly 100 countries. Can you imagine that? It's crazy. The amount of students, the amount of work as well, it's amazing. And speaking of graduates and the students who are graduates of this program, we have more than 150,000 graduates from 165 countries. I mean, that's like almost the whole world.
The whole world, yeah.
But to be more precise, let's talk about the last year, 2023. In 2023 only, we had 170,367 applications from 163 countries. I mean, I'm pretty sure that this is the best it can get, right? Can it be better than this? And, you know, you will proceed to tell us about the levels and scholarship programs, levels of study and everything. But I don't know about you, but when I was applying and doing my research about this scholarship program, I was quite suspicious, you know. It seems impossible to me that one scholarship program can offer this much, and it was unrealistic. And even while I was on the plane here for my first time ever, I still had some question marks in my head, but after I landed, they were all gone.
Yeah.
So tell us about some levels of study.
Well, beside the big numbers, there are a lot of opportunities and the levels of this scholarship that it offers. It's offering full-time scholarship and short-time scholarship programs, as well as joint scholarship programs. The full-time scholarship program is offering the undergraduate scholarship, the graduate scholarship, which covers the master's and PhD, as well as the merit scholarship, which is offered in all levels of the graduate programs. The short-term scholarship is divided into a successful scholarship program, which is up to 1 year. The research scholarship program, which as well is up to 1 year. You have the Turkish communication program for public officials and academics, up to 8 months. And then we have the Turkish language course, which is up to 1 year. About the joint scholarship programs, will you tell us what it is about?
Yes, but before, can we rewind to this Turkish course program? Any good memories?
Well, I've heard many good memories actually from friends that took the language course, that they made, first of all, many friends. They had such a great time learning a lot of things, and they would say Turkish can be a bit difficult, but so far all the students that I met, everyone is pretty much doing really well, I would say. What about you? Do you have any experience with the language?
Yes, you know, one of my favorite memories that I made here are actually from Turkish language course. I remember entering the classroom on our very first day and seeing 20 people in the classroom, and they're all from different countries, from different continents, and I was amazed. Because, let's be honest, if I stayed home, I would never be given this kind of opportunity. And it gives you the chance to meet different people, to exchange experiences, to meet new cultures, to broaden your horizons. And for me personally, I mean, I'm loving my school and my department and everything, but I feel like Turkish language course is definitely something that I will always remember as one of the best parts and best times of my life. But let's go back to our presentation and those levels of study.
Yes.
So you spoke about those two scholarship programs, and there's a third one. It's called joint scholarship programs. What that is pretty much a program offered to certain disadvantaged groups within the framework of special themes in cooperation with international organizations and other public institutions. What this basically means is that Türkiye Scholarship Program is partnering up with some different organizations, governmental, non-governmental, and they are offering the students the scholarships, but when they come to Turkey, they are pretty much on the same level as normal Türkiye Scholarship students. However, of course, there can be some changes, but that, of course, it depends on the organization that Türkiye Scholarship Program is partnering up with. Now, I think we are at the most interesting parts and the part that everybody wants to know everything about, and that is the scope of this scholarship. I feel like this is pretty much the most important info that people want to know.
Yes, I would agree. We're mentioning that this is the most comprehensive scholarship, and the list is actually quite long. The scope of this scholarship covers the university program placement, the round-trip flight ticket back into your country. It gives monthly stipend. It covers the health insurance, which I would say is among the best. It covers the tuition fee, the one-year language program. It's covering the accommodation, as well as with all these, you'll have the chance to develop academically and both professionally as well, which I think it's quite amazing. But I think people would be interested how to apply. Maybe there are some new ones here in our here joining us today that they might want to know where and how to apply.
Yes.
Would you give any ideas or any
Definitely, that's
places
what
where they
we're
can
here
apply?
for today. So you guys probably know that there are some steps for applying for the scholarship. So the first step, of course, is visiting our official site and opening an account there. What you need to be very careful about here is that your email address is always available, that you don't forget any passwords, or that you don't forget your email address, and that you can always receive updates on it, and that you are always up to date with everything, with all the announcements, so you don't have any problem keeping up with the whole procedure. The second part after opening an account is, of course, uploading your documents. They need to be original, so you need to scan them and upload them in their original state. Please, one very important tip, I would say, gather all of them, check which documents you need. Sometimes there can be certain documents, like maybe some certificates, language certificates, etc., that some universities are requiring, and with this, we cannot tell you precisely which documents you need. It depends on which university you want to study at and what are your wishes. So according to that, please make sure to gather all your documents so you are ready and that you are not missing out anything and you don't have any missing documents. Now, third part, I feel like that one is very interesting. It's interesting and exciting to maybe do a research on those university programs and something that you want. So the third step of this whole procedure is selecting your university and programs. Here, I would also like to point out that if your program is in English, or maybe you want to study a program which is in English, you need a certificate to prove your English proficiency level, and that's either TOEFL or IELTS. It depends on your university, and the score itself also depends on university, so you will have to check that on official pages of the selected universities. Now, one of the most important steps, in my personal opinion, number 4, letter of intent.
Right,
Isn't that right? Do you have any tips, any experiences?
Well, I was thinking about the university selection part and the program selection part. It's where I think I would say it's the part where you start daydreaming about the universities and where you're going to study, and you're like, oh, this university is so good. You go and look for in the internet, the campus and everything, and I would say it's the part where I was daydreaming the most, I think. Looking over and searching for the universities and learning more about the universities. About the letter of intent, I would say it's the biggest and the important part. I remember I tried my best to explain myself about what I want to do and how I want to do it and why I want to do it. And that's why I would say it's the most important part where you need to show yourself, I would say.
Yes, you need to point out your professional skills, your aims, your goals in life. You need to maybe point out how ambitious you are, what are your goals, what are your career plans, etc. And the letter of intent is pretty much what is putting you out of the crowd and what is making you maybe better than other candidates. And the final step. Number 5, you're submitting your application. Speaking of submitting your application, I would really like to remind you that you only have 4 days left, so please don't leave it to the last minute, don't wait for the last minute, because sometimes a system can be overworked, sometimes it crashes, because due to a big number of students who are trying to submit their applications in those very few days. So without further ado, please, if you are ready, if you already have everything, your documents uploaded, your letter of intent written and uploaded, don't doubt it too much. Maybe you guys are now going into this overthinking mode, trying to decide whether you want to take this risk or not. But trust me, this will be probably one of the best decisions of your life. And if you are lucky enough and good enough to come to Turkey to win a scholarship and to come here, it will change your life for better, definitely. It will help you. It will help you improve yourself. It will help you on your career path. And it's not only the experience of international student. It's not only going away from your home country. It's the networking, it's making friends here, it's also a Türkiye Scholarship program, being there, supporting us, helping us if we have any problems, they are here for us to solve them. So this whole experience, I mean, don't think it too much, submit that application, and we will be waiting for you here. We're waiting for new students. We are very much looking forward to meeting new friends. You know, one fun fact, there's, of course, official website that applications are made online through, but since recently, actually, it's in 8 different languages. You can make your applications in 8 different languages: Turkish, English, Arabic, French, Spanish, Russian, Bosnian, and Persian. So you don't have to be worried about, I don't know, I don't speak Turkish, I'm not very good with English. You have 8 different languages. Be comfortable, be confident, don't overthink too much, and submit that application. So, how does the whole procedure go? We have some steps, don't we?
Yes, we do. But before we start with the steps, I'm thinking of this tea in front of me. Actually, it's giving me a lot of memories here. Even though we're from Balkans, we have similar cultures, I would say.
Yeah.
But when it comes to tea, I would say that they drink a lot of tea here.
They're definitely tea drinkers.
I remember this time when I came here, and then I went to my university to register, and then at the student office, they offered me tea, and I'm like, wow, I'm having Turkish tea in the student office at the university.
I'm so cool.
Which to me was so interesting, and I really, really love it. I really love Turkish tea as well. About the scholarship programs and the steps it comes in, it's actually, we have the part where it's the preliminary assessment, where the evaluators are checking your academic performance, your national exam scores and the grades you're having, as well as the required documents that you need to upload on the system. On top of that, you'll have the academic review, where they're checking your academic interests, your consistency of choices, which I would say is really important if you're choosing very different programs or choices that maybe don't relate. As well, you need to show why maybe you want that different choices. The next one is the letter of intent, which we already spoke about the importance of it. As well, after that, there will be the shortlisting, which unfortunately not everyone will pass to the interview. The interview part, you will be asked about your career goals, your leadership qualities, as well as the commitment to return to your home country and to apply what you've learned from Turkey. The final evaluation comes from the available places at universities, the comparison between the candidates, which earlier we mentioned the big numbers of applications, and that means that it's a big competition. On top of that, the candidates' overall fit for the program will be evaluated, which I would say are quite important steps up to today. I wanted to ask you, what about the eligibility? Is there any minimum requirement?
Yes, we have some criteria.
Okay, can you tell us more?
Of course. There are some age limits for every program. For undergraduate programs, students must not be over the age of 21. So if you are thinking about applying for undergraduate scholarship program, you must be younger than 21. If your choice is master's, you must be younger than 30. If it's PhD, our age limit is 35. And if you are applying for a research program, the age limit is 50. And those are maximums, unfortunately. And, you know, there are also some minimal levels of academic achievement that a person has to score. For undergraduate, it's 70%. For master's and PhD, it's 75%. And for medicine, dentistry, and pharmacy department, it's 90%, which is quite hard.
Yes, I can give an example with the undergraduate. For example, if your CGPA is out of 4 points, you need to have at least around 2.8 CGPA for you to apply, as well as for a master's and PhD, if it's out of 4 points, you need to have at least 3 in order to apply for the scholarship, which I would say it's quite important to have the grades.
Yes. But I would like to take a step back to these things that you talked about, this whole process, the evaluation.
Okay.
What do you think is the most stressful part?
Well, I'm a bit stressful person. I would say each part is really stressful, but I would say each part has its different stress. For me, the most stressful part, I would say, maybe the interview was
I agree.
Among the stressful parts that I experienced. I would say I still remember the excitement that I got the interview, but also I still remember the time waiting to go in the interview, and I think I'm still having that stress right now.
You know, it's the stress. I think every time I mean, no matter how lovely or great those memories we carried are, they're still like very stressful. And the whole procedure, I mean, personally, I'm an overthinker who stresses out every second of the day. So with me, every part, every step of this whole procedure was stressful. But like you said, interview, it was probably the most stressful time. But no matter the stress, once I entered, those people there who were there to talk to us, to maybe do some assessment and everything, they were super friendly, they were very nice. And during our conversation, I noticed that I managed to relax. I was, at the end of the interview, I was already relaxed and I had no
Like you're feeling
problem.
right now.
Yeah.
Feel so relaxed.
The excitement is there, trust me. I'm just trying not to show it. I'm trying to hide it a bit. But the interview was definitely one of the most stressful parts for me. Even though I came prepared, you know, I knew what I wanted in life. I knew my career goals. I had in mind what I want to say. You know, I had everything sorted out in my head. But once you are actually there, when you are there in front of them, it's crazy. But the memories, amazing, still amazing.
I would say the passion, what you want to do is also really important in this part.
And you know what's also fun? Stress is connecting people. I remember waiting for the interview part, for the examination, And there was another girl sitting next to me back in Bosnia. And we started talking, you know, we became friends because we're both stressed out, we're in the same situation. We all know what it's waiting for us on the other side of those doors. But, I mean, destiny is a very tricky game. It's an interesting game. So that friend I made that day, we are right now at the same city, at the same university. We're still chit-chatting, having coffees together. I mean, like you said, our cultural background, we're more coffee drinkers. Yes. So we're still trying to, you know, have those traditions, but the Turkish coffee, it's amazing as well. So yeah, you see, no matter how stressful or maybe that long the procedure itself looks or sounds like now that we are talking about it, it brings the very best in people, I would say. And the memories it leaves behind, they're amazing. So some services that are provided to our awardees.
Well, I would say the services that this scholarship is awarding, it's quite a big thing, I would say. Well, the first one, obviously, is the flight arrangement. They will arrange for you the flight from your home country to Turkey. I would say the flight arrangement was such a nice experience and such an interesting memory, maybe for all of us. I remember, because I'm studying in Ankara, my flight was actually a connection flight to Istanbul. I did not have problems with that. I reached to Ankara and I took my luggage and I'm going outside, so I'm exiting. And I see this stand where it says Türkiye Bursları and Türkiye Scholarship, with some people waiting for me, actually. And interestingly enough, I was the last person that will reach on that day. So they were like, and my flight was actually a little bit delayed. So they were like, where have you been? We're waiting for you. We were waiting for you at this hour. But I would say from that moment, with the people there, they were so nice, really helpful. There are other students as well, and we start chatting, like you said, and connecting, which I would say this is the biggest part. The part where you start connecting with other international students from the moment you reach there. It's this scholarship, it's giving you the other opportunity, and that is making friends from all sorts of nationalities.
All over the world.
From all over the world. And I would say that this scholarship gave me the opportunity to make really good friends, and I'm so grateful that I have really nice friends. Thanks to this scholarship. Another service that this scholarship is offering is helping you with opening the bank account as well as your residency permit operations. They will actually start before you come here. They will help you with that. On top of that, like I said earlier, you'll have the meet and greet stand at the airport. Did you have any memories with the meet and greet stand or the flight to
yes,
Turkey?
I did.
Could
yes.
you share?
You know, the excitement was present for sure, trust me. And I mean, let's face it, you and I both were coming from small countries in the Balkans, right? And then you're landing, I mean, I landed at the biggest airport in Turkey, Istanbul airport. It was so crowded, I had a hard time finding my luggage. I was extremely stressed. I was super excited. And it was my first time ever going somewhere alone. And, you know, so anyways, I managed somehow to find the luggage. I'm exiting and I'm looking for the stand. But with all the excitement and panic I made, I wasn't able to see it, apparently, even though they were there the whole time. So 40 minutes later, and after walking around the airport from one info desk to another with 2 suitcases, I managed to find them. And the relief I felt is just undescribable, unexplainable. And like you said, being there, sharing that experience, because when I also arrived, there were some people who came before me that day, who came earlier. And we're sitting, we're chatting, and even then, I'm noticing the cultural differences, but also the opportunity that we were given. Because when else would I be given the opportunity to, I don't know, speak to someone from Africa or Asia? I mean, And also, even you and me.
Exactly.
We're close. We're both from the Balkans. But, I mean,
Yes.
this friendship also happened thanks to this program, if we're going to be honest.
We can say that this may be a unification as
Yes.
well program. On top of that, you'll also have the insurance transaction, and you'll have the dormitory placement, which you'll have the information before coming here, which I think are quite amazing. What about the academic and cultural
Guidance?
guidance?
Yes, Türkiye scholarship programs are also providing some guidance for their students. So when you first arrive, you have freshers or new students orientation program, and we also have some representatives in some universities. You are also able to get academic counseling. You are able to attend academic congress and workshops, to join some sports and art programs, cultural events, internship programs, and also international students academies. I think that, being an international student, as fun as it is, sometimes it can be hard, especially with maybe internship programs in a foreign country. So one of the biggest advantages and opportunities that students here are given is actually this, and how much Türkiye Scholarships is being helpful with the program and everything. But you know what I also love and enjoy super? Cultural events.
My favorite.
Any good memories from those?
Well, I have so many memories.
Please do
actually.
share.
I feel so old when I say I have so many memories, but in fact, I do have a lot of memories, and it just feels amazing, especially with the cultural events. I remember really well. We were doing for each country. We would call it like the kitchen day. So each country's student, they will gather together and make food for everyone. And I remember so well the line, which was so crowded and so big. And I remember tasting all sorts of foods and meeting so many people from different nationalities, different countries. And it's just the best memory, I would say. I also remember really well the time where I took part in workshops and academies. Especially, I remember the first aid. I went to this first aid academy, which was so interesting because the last day we were learning about how to wrap the wounds, and the teacher made us all wrap some part of our body, and then we all took picture, and I remember so well my head was wrapped, which was so funny but such a good memory.
So why don't we give some examples of these academic and professional
Yes.
programs? Would you like to?
Well, yes. Like I said, the programs that this scholarship is offering is the International Student Academy, where you'll have so many choices. Like you have so many choices, and I can only count a few, which I would say, like academic writing or different arts programs and so on. You'll also have International Student Science Congress. I don't know about you, but I love congresses, and I'm so excited about those. There are also programs, internship like we also said, and student awards, as well as in different parts of Turkey. There are different offices, like in Ankara, Istanbul, Edirne, where they give academic support programs, language programs, cultural and art programs, as well as country and regional associations. What do you think about after graduation? Do still students from here get along?
Of course they do. We are one big happy family. We are still staying in touch. We're always in touch with each other. I mean, I have a lot of international students who came with this program, thanks to this program, who graduated, but we are still in touch. We're still helping each other, giving advices, coming, visiting, talking, chatting. It's amazing. But of course, this is also thanks to the program. We have alumni meetups. Turkey graduation ceremony every year happens, and it happens in more than 40 countries, which I think is amazing. Also, alumni network, where graduating students are referred to this network of Turkey. And, you know, funnily enough, it has more than 150,000 members worldwide. Can you imagine the network?
Thousands.
Yes, it's not hundreds, it's thousands. And it's a really huge number when you think about it.
Definitely.
And we also have some associations. We have 34 alumni associations in 30 countries.
I would also mention this part where the connection with the others that already finished their studies is really important, especially when it comes to graduate students, I would say, do on their thesis period. Everyone is like so confused, and I'm always asking my friends that they finished, how did you do this? How did you do that? And that connection and that talk is really, really important, I would say.
Yes, and I don't know if it's special for this network and the program that we are part of, but everyone is always so ready to help you, to give you a hand with an advice, with something, you know. It's amazing. You just need to ask for it. You need to ask for the help,
Yes.
and it always happens. I think it's time we
We
remind
also
them.
need to remind them of the period where it's about to finish. Like we've been saying this so many times.
Yes.
You know, we keep repeating it, but it's really important. There's only 4 days left for the applications to finish, and we would urgently suggest you to finish and submit your application as early as possible. Especially don't leave it on the last days, because you know you heard the big number of applications, and the system naturally from the overload and overwork
Yes.
can crash, and
Happened
that would
to
be
me.
so sad.
It happened.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm talking about this overthinking and stressing out, but I always leave it till the last minute. I remember uploading my documents for maybe 4 or 5 times, and also my letter of intent, because the system crashed a few times, you know, but it wasn't the last day, it was last 4 or 5 days. So that pretty much gives you the point that this is a very key period for you guys, and then you need to be super careful and don't wait up for the 20th of February when our application date is finishing and we're closing it. What's also important to mention is that applications are online and free.
Yes.
Applications are also received in a single period, which is January 10th, February 20th. They are received simultaneously at all levels, bachelor's, master's, and doctorate. However, applications for the research scholarship program are open throughout the year. That's maybe an important thing to point out. So if you are thinking about applying for undergraduate, master's, and doctorate, don't wait. You only have 4 days left. And this is very exciting, you know.
Yes, it's really exciting. Well, I think we don't have a lot of, I mean, we've been talking quite a while, and I think we should maybe check and see what our friends are asking us in the chat box, I would say. Shall we go start with the questions maybe and see
Yes.
what they asked us?
Yes, we definitely should. But before we start with the questions, I have a question for you.
It's okay, you can ask me.
You know how we tried to prepare for this show, and we had a meal?
Okay.
Want to talk about that? The Turkish food?
Yes.
I mean, we're here, we're talking about Turkish culture and how amazing it is, and definitely is.
I hope you guys are not hungry.
Do you have a favorite food? What is it?
I have so many favorite foods, I would say. I cannot say I only have one. I would say I have so many favorite Turkish foods, but among them is pide. And I just like, it's so good. I cannot explain.
Yes.
Just thinking about it, it's making my mouth watery.
I mean, forget the meal we just had. I'm hungry again.
Yes.
I'm also a big fan of sweets and sugar. I mean, personally, for me, baklava.
Yes.
You cannot top that. Name a food that's better than baklava.
It's like
It's
so many types and so many flavors. It's like so good. I cannot explain this.
And you know what goes well with baklava? Turkish tea. Definitely. That's the best combination,
The
probably.
tea and the Turkish baklava together, It's like the best combination, I would say.
Definitely.
And then you'll have to, and then a good friend next to you.
Yes, for sure.
And the time will go by like so quickly, and you're like, what?
Yes, it's crazy, you know.
Definitely.
Want to check the Q&A box?
I think we've been receiving a lot of questions.
Oh yes, I see a lot
Like
of
so
them.
many questions that we can start and answer as much as we can, I would say. Okay. Do you want to start?
Yes, shall I read one?
Sure.
It says, where can I submit my national exam certificate in the application?
Well, that's a really good question. The national scores, you'll have this specific section where you'll have the, depending on what score you mean, like the TOEFL or IELTS or GRE, SAT exams are separate, like the academic part, and then you'll have to submit your scores of your CGPA and your diplomas as well.
Yes.
Let me read the next one for you.
Okay.
Maybe you'd like to know about this one. What about, our friend here is asking, how do we choose or prefer the universities that offer the English language? Where can they see that?
I'm pretty sure it's listed. It's written in the, when you are fulfilling and uploading your documents. Once you are done with the uploading part, you move on to the next step, which is choosing your universities and programs. And depending on which program you want, you choose it, and then you can see, you will be able to see the list of universities for the program which you want. And I'm pretty sure it says there the percentage of language, if the program is, I don't know, maybe 30%
Specific scores, yeah.
in English, maybe it's 100% Turkish and everything like that. So that's usually written next to the name of the university and the name of your program.
Yes.
Okay, wanna read the next question or shall I? It says here, are these last dates for fall admissions?
Well, like we said earlier, the scholarship application is a single period application, which are now. So the last few days are now, and like we mentioned earlier, the last date is 20th of February for you
Yes.
to apply. I'm going to ask you the next question.
Okay.
Okay, this friend is asking. Okay.
Oh, I
if-
saw,
okay.
I'm sorry
I'm
for...
going to ask you this question. If
Okay.
someone doesn't have Turkish language certificate, can they apply?
Of course they can. You don't need a Turkish language certificate. You are obligated to go to the 1-year Turkish language course once you first arrive. And if you don't speak the language, that is the first thing that you will be, those are the first lessons that you will be attending. You will spend a year learning Turkish. And speaking from personal experience, it's the best time ever. It's the most fun one. I saw here a question
Okay.
that says, what is the best way or how to write a good proposal or the letter of intent?
The letter of intent, okay. Well, I would say, like, since it's the most important part, you need to show yourself. You need to give your academic background as well as your goals, what you want to do, and how you want to do it and why. Also, I would say it's important why you want to do this in the specific program and why in Turkey. Like, you need to know where you're coming and why you want to come here. This is the most important part, I would say. Anything else you'd like to add if in the internet?
No, just point out your most important skills, your professional skills, your career goals, and your ambitions. So in the same question, there was also a question about the proposal.
Yes.
So, as one of the master students here, as an experienced one, any tips on that?
Yes, actually the proposal is the most important part, I would say as well. We keep saying important part, but everything
Everything
is important.
is important.
The proposal is actually where you're going to say and tell us the topic that you want to work on here, how you're going to work on, and especially you want to add the literature review that you did about the specific topic, and also the importance of it, why is this topic important, as well as how is this topic and this research is going to contribute to both your country and Turkey. That's the important part, I would say.
So speaking of the proposal, it says here, I have a proposal of my bachelor's degree. Can I insert that in the proposal part?
You can propose that, but in fact, when we're doing research proposals, when we're doing research, we're going to do things that haven't been researched before. So we want to add something new to the literature, and we want to add something new to the academic or education system. So that's maybe, I would suggest you can look up and do literature review and maybe look at the gaps and the limitations of your research and what you want to add in the future and how we want to do it here.
Okay, I want to choose a question.
Yes.
Let's try and answer one.
Okay, so one of them is asking if they're studying, if they're doing this other program, can they apply to a different program, like a different field? How would you?
I would suggest them to maybe continue with and pursue the program that they are already studying. But if they are applying like to start all over, if they are applying for undergraduate program, if their age limit is good enough, then why not? You can always try out your luck. It's not always about your it's not about what you study, it's about what you want, and if you will be lucky enough and maybe successful enough to be selected as one of the awardees for this program.
Yes.
Any interesting questions? I mean, all of them
Some
are
of them.
interesting, but there's a lot of questions coming here.
We also answered some of them during our talk.
Here's
that's why.
one. It says, can two person apply for one family? I mean, I'm guessing it's can two people from the same
From
family
the same
apply at the
family.
same time, maybe?
Okay. I don't think they can apply because, like we said, it's a very big and competitive scholarship. They try the best to divide among the most qualified ones that actually really deserve it. I would
Yes,
say.
and after, let's say, two people want to apply from the same family, after one has graduated, if it's a Türkiye Scholarship program student, then the other one can apply. So not at the same time. It's possible for you both to apply, but I don't think it's possible for them to get the scholarship at the same time because, I mean, it's not that fair to others,
Yeah.
you know.
I wanted to ask you this other question. I think we've been asked a lot, so I want to ask you again.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are the English language certificates important in all universities? And yeah, what do you think?
Depends
about
on
this?
well, first of all, it depends on the program that you want to study and that you want to choose. If your program has some percentage of lessons in English, then yes, they are important. But I'm not able to tell you the exact importance of it because it depends on the university that you want to choose, and that is something that you really do have to check on the official site of the university that you're applying. Maybe you can send an email to them to check with them which certificate do they want. Are they preferring TOEFL or IELTS? Which score do they want? And what is the least score that you need to have in order to enroll into that university? Okay.
Wow, guys, thank you for all the questions. It's a lot, yeah.
It says here, are there students who got accepted for Islamic studies? Yes.
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 Like so many programs, so many fields that students are accepted based on their merit, of course. Someone asked about the interview location. If you get asked, if you get invited for the interview, the location, I would say you can, of course, you'll have the option where you can take the interview location.
Yes, I
in the
mean,
system.
if you pass the preliminary
Yes.
assessment, you will get an email which contains all the necessary information that you need, and you will be given the interview location. They're usually, I mean, speaking for Bosnia at least, they're usually held at the capital or maybe some of the most crowded cities, etc.
Well, I guess depending on the country, because big
Yes.
countries might have more than one options of the interview location. Okay, would you like to ask the next question for me?
Yes, let me see. It says, is it mandatory to submit IELTS or TOEFL score, or is it okay if we submit a certificate issued by our current institute for language proficiency?
Well, the official scores are more eligible, I would say, because you don't know, different universities have different requirements, but to be sure, the official ones throughout the world are TOEFL and IELTS when it comes to English language. So based on that, you will see when you're applying to choosing your university, there will be like a box where it will mention the score and the exams that they accept as well. Yeah.
Riyad, I'm seeing a lot of questions about IELTS, about TOEFL. And there we have another question that says either IELTS or TOEFL is compulsory for undergraduate students, and the question mark. So let's, in a very basic words, let's say it one more time. Would you?
Yeah, you can say
Okay.
it.
So, guys, once again, it's not mandatory for you to have your TOEFL or IELTS certificate or score if you are applying for Türkiye scholarship programs. But it does depend if your program that you are choosing is in English. Depending on the percentage of English in the program, if you are applying for one that's in English, then your IELTS or TOEFL score is mandatory, but the score itself depends on the university which you are applying for.
Yes.
I hope.
I have another question for you, which will be important for everyone, and people might need to know the answer. So this other friend is asking how many letters of recommendation are needed during the application process.
Oh.
Will you have any advice on that?
Yes. As many as you can get, at least, but make sure there are at least 2. Also, my personal advice for you is to get the letters of recommendation from your teachers or other institutes that maybe you have done some volunteering work at, but that choose the ones that will maybe be related to the department that you are choosing, to the field you want to study, and pretty much as you can get or have or upload at the system. But I would say make sure there are at least 2. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree. To at least 2 telling about you. Okay, so can I ask the next question?
Yes.
Since I'm seeing this one, it's asking, can one apply for the scholarship if one is already studying, doing their university at their own country?
Yes.
Okay, yes. You can, I would say. You
Yes,
can apply.
you can, but
You need to bear in mind that when you're leaving your university, it means that you're coming to start from zero.
yes, you're from the bottom.
Your previous studies and the exams you did will not be counted, which that I would say it was recommended for you to finish, but of course you can apply if that's what you really want. I would say.
Yes. Here's one. It says, hello, can the math test have an effect on my acceptance if my course is not related to maths?
Well, you mean the grade in general?
I guess.
I guess if it's the grade in general, if you're passing the requirement, general requirement grade CGPA, I don't think it would be a problem for one subject.
Okay, somebody is asking, is there any program for those who have MD in dentistry? I'm guessing this came to me because I'm a dentistry student.
Yes.
I personally don't have those informations, but my advice to you is you can check it on the website of Türkiye Scholarship Program, on our official website. I'm pretty sure that there are some programs available, and if you have any other questions and something that maybe you didn't understand, you are always more than welcome to send an email to Türkiye Scholarships, and which is, I mean, the amount of students that they have is really big, but they're really fast at replying back. And also, one of the advices I would like to give, you can still, even after this live stream ends, you can still write your questions in the comment section below the video, and I'm pretty sure they will be answered. If, I mean, maybe not right away, but in the next few days, you will get your answers. Speaking of applications, once again, I know we're like
Repeating.
yes, we're like birds, parrots. I mean, but please, guys, there's only 4 days left. Don't miss out the opportunity to become an international student here in Turkey. Don't miss out on this amazing experience of studying at most prestigious universities, learning a new language, learning and meeting people from different cultures, learning about new cultures. And I mean, keep in mind that you guys coming here does not only give you the opportunity of learning things about Turkish culture, it's giving you the opportunity to learn about a lot of different cultures, because I mean, we mentioned symposiums, meetings, cultural events, and everything. There you have so many people, so many students from all around the world coming, meeting, chatting, becoming friends, and exchanging their experiences. So that gives you this amazing, amazing opportunity. So if you are curious about new cultures, if you are curious about learning new languages, don't miss out. What is stopping you from becoming an international student? I mean, try out your luck and come to study here in Turkey. Like I said already, we're waiting for them. I am always excited to meet new people.
As you can see, we're so friendly people.
I mean,
you can always reach out.
And we're here. I mean, the excitement, it's still here, even from the very beginning of the live stream.
Yes.
I mean, it's not easy sitting here, you know, and trying to answer all of this, but the excitement is present from the very moment, from the very beginning. So, I mean, do you know, I have this habit of checking new lists of new Türkiye scholarship students who come to Eskişehir every year. I'm always checking if there's someone who, maybe from the Balkans, who speaks the same language as I do, who I can help, you know, because it's always easier if you have someone who speaks your own language, and in the very beginning at least. So I'm always, like, each year I come back from my home country, September, October, checking the lists, visiting the Turkish language course. Hello there, the secretary knows me, you know. She knows my name and everything. She's like, oh, you're here to check the list again? Yeah, I'm just here to make some friends, you know. Yeah. Okay, any new questions?
Well, I see so many questions about the research proposal when it comes to master's and PhD.
Oh, this is your field.
PhD applications, which I want to talk about this.
Please do.
The research proposal, like I've been mentioning since the beginning, it's really, really important when it comes to master's and PhD. You really want to show what kind of research you want to do and how you want to do it. For PhD, you also need to, you can write it in English or Turkish language because the research will be evaluated by an academic on that specific field. So you need to make sure to write the most important things of the research that you want to do, to mention the literature review and everything that a research needs to have. Do you have any questions that you want to answer? Or
Is recommendation letter compulsory for undergraduates?
I would say yes, because it's like a recommendation for you. It shows who you are, and we need to know, the evaluators need to know who are you and why are you fit for this program. That's why I would say it's really, really important.
There are a few questions about the math tests we also mentioned earlier, but I don't think this is the math notes or grades in high school they're talking about, because for undergraduate students, I'm not sure about master's and PhD, but from, again, it's personal experience. For undergraduate students, during the interview, when you first arrive, there is a test that is conducted, and it's mostly math test. So what they are here asking is, will the math test results, which they take right before the interview, going to have an impact on the students whose field is in social sciences? Well, I mean, do your best.
I would say.
Do your best. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will affect your status or the way they see you at the interview. I personally think that you should do your best, both at the math test and during the interview. And I think interview is where actually they get the bigger picture and a bit more details about the candidates. So do as best as you can and make sure your performance is on the biggest and best level that it's possible. You give 100 or 110% that you have in you, and then leave it to luck. But I don't think that it will be a very critical point if your area or your program that you want to study or department are social
I would
studies.
say also the other supporting documents are important. For example, your extracurricular activities that you've uploaded, your volunteer work, your work experience, and everything. It's making like a big picture of you, and that's why everything is adding in. So the more, the better, and the best you do, it's on your interest, I would say, on the student's interest.
Riyad, they're asking, is it possible to change your interview location after calling for interview?
I would say, well, if you get invited for the interview on the system, you will have the option where you can choose the location you want based on the interview where they offer. So based on where they have the option where they ask you where you want to do it in your country. So that's why you'll have the option beforehand, so you prepare based on that, I would say.
Yes. Are you ready for next question?
Yes.
It says here, I have a big question.
Okay.
Is it possible to study health science in Turkey?
Well, obviously I'm standing in front of you guys, so I'm studying
We're
health
here.
sciences. And we're in
Both
the
of us.
We're in the health sciences. So yes, it's possible. It is very possible because we're here, so it's real. You'll have all the options and the programs that you can see, and you can find on the official website of Türkiye Scholarships. You'll have the option where you can search the education field. You'll have the program, the language, and even the city. You can also search based on the city that you want to apply. I have another question. So it says, again, about exams, but I think it's important for us to mention. So he says that our friend here is saying that he will take exam now and his results will be out later on. So can he, for the English program, will it still be considered? You need to make sure you mention this, that you took the exam and the results are about to be announced in the future months, and when you're invited for the interview, you need to have the document with you, and you need to bring, I would say.
Yes, definitely. I mean, at least make sure that it's in your hand, that you have it by the time of the interview, so they can evaluate it during the interview. It's also very possible, you know, because during the interview, they also check our documents, the original ones, and maybe if we had some documents missing and maybe we didn't have them on time, they always check it. So it's always possible, but make sure to leave a note. Or if you are still saying, no, I really want to be 100% sure, like I said earlier, you are always welcome to send an email or to leave a comment down below after this live ends, so your questions will hopefully be answered.
Yes. Do you have any memories with the classes here when you started your program?
Yes.
Would you like to share some?
Yes.
Or one?
We're speaking about department classes, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, the first. Well, I mean, the first year can definitely be challenging, I would say, because you are leaving the Turkish language course, you are still trying to get to know with the language. And I mean, okay, yes, we practice a lot during the language course. We are trying to talk as much as possible. We are forced pretty much, I would say, because that's the important part, to make you
study,
talk.
yeah.
Yes, to make you speak. But the pressure is also present, of course. You already said it, Turkish language may not be the easiest language to learn, but it's possible. I'm a living proof of that. And if I am able to go and study and have no problems with my Turkish, I think that everybody will be very successful at that. Speaking of department and the lessons, well, I mean, you know how health department and dentistry is. We have, the department itself is hard, and you also know that lessons are hard, but
if you're passionate about it.
Yes, if you're passionate about it enough, and if you work a lot, if you study a lot, you'll get through it. I mean, you'll get through it. Every university is hard. There's no easy department, I don't think it's we can give an example of, oh, that's an easy department, you can pass it without studying. I don't think that's possible, no matter the department, no matter the program, no matter the university or the language. Even if I stayed back home, I would still be struggling with some lessons, even if it was in my mother tongue, right?
Yeah. Yes.
How about you?
I agree. I have really good experiences with my classes when I started. Actually, I'm still very lucky to be a student in one of the best universities here in Turkey. I really, really liked the practical parts where we had very, very advanced laboratories and really qualified teachers with very professional academic records, and that's why I would say makes the beauty of it. They want to teach you, and while I'm speaking on my own experience, I learned a lot, and I'm very, very thankful and so grateful about this opportunity.
Speaking of how teachers and professors are actually ready to help you out, it's not only them. It's in the nature of Turkish people.
Yes.
It's a cultural characteristic, I would say. They are all very warm, very kind, always ready to help you, especially in the beginning when I first came and I didn't know the language. We don't speak the same language. They don't speak English or Bosnian. I don't speak Turkish, but we managed to communicate somehow. I managed to go to the place where I wanted to, and they're always ready and to help you, to give you advice, from that old lady on the street to your friend from the classroom, from the department, from those people who are maybe working at the university and everything. They're always there, always ready to help us, to give us a hand. And I think that is one of the best traits and one of my favorite things about Turkish people and their culture. Okay, yes. I saw a question here. It says, I lost it. Somebody asked, how is it possible to apply now? And until when do we have time to apply?
Well, it is possible for you to apply now because we've been mentioning we've been mentioning many times earlier, yes, that you'll have 4 more days left for the application to finish. So the 20th of February is the last day where you apply. So I would suggest you to be quick and finish your application as soon as possible before the end.
Another question that I see here, again, medicine related. It
Okay.
says, I apply for medicine. Is TOEFL necessary?
Well, like we've been mentioning earlier as well, it depends on the university and the language requirements of the university. Some universities might have the English program, so you'll need to have the English exam scores for you to apply. So when you're making your choices and choosing the universities, like I said earlier, when you click on the university, you will see a box where it says the requirements, and you will see if it's the English exam required, like TOEFL or IELTS, you'll have the scores, the minimum scores that they require. So that's how you can learn if you can do it in English or in other languages.
Want to hear another question?
Okay.
Healthcare and health medicine related.
Okay, our favorites.
Hello, Amna and Riyad. Hello to you back. Health science is more competitive than others, right?
Yes.
Yes,
It is
like
very.
I mentioned during the presentation, you need to have 90% of achievement to be able to get enrollment into these, into medicine, dentistry, and pharmacy departments. They are really important, and yes, it's a bit, the competition is there, definitely.
Definitely.
We're lucky to be here and super thankful.
I have another question. Someone asked that they want to apply. Do they need to upload a CV on the system?
Well, it's very helpful if you do. It will be in your favor if you do. You can always add some, maybe if you volunteered or if you have a lot of letters of recommendation, you can always include them as well in your CV. If you have the chance and if you have the CV ready, don't miss out the opportunity. It's not mandatory necessarily, I would say, but if you already have it ready, upload it, please, because you never know what will be the detail which will play in your favor.
Because the competition is so high,
Yes.
so that slight detail can add up and boost you. So that's really important, I would say. Yeah. Someone, wait, I lost the question.
Is it a must to have a passport?
For you to apply, I would say you can either apply with your ID or your passport, but obviously for you to fly out of your country, you'll need your passport.
Yes.
But for the application, you can apply with your ID as well.
Yes, and you can get your passport later on, maybe if after the interview or during some other steps of the assessment. Maybe not in the beginning, but or maybe if you get the announcement that you have received, or maybe you receive an email about winning the scholarship or getting it. Of course, it's important for you to have a passport to leave your country and to travel somewhere else. So yes, it definitely is a must to come to Turkey in case of you winning the scholarship. It's not a must. Passport is not a must for applying. Speaking of applying, I'm gonna become a parrot here today. But guys, you only have 4 days left. Don't miss out on this opportunity. And I hope that you will be applying, and I hope that the number of applications will be rising in these last 4 days that we have. And as this date is coming to an end, my excitement is also growing. Are you excited? Do you have any prognosis? Any opinions?
Well, the prognosis, I would say, is good when it comes to this scholarship, because I would say since it's really competitive, among the best students will get it. So I have really good hopes, and I really think that people, the competition, since it's high, you will be maybe one of the chosen one. I have another question that someone asks. Can one international student apply for a PhD in Turkish language? Well, obviously you can, because you'll have the 1-year Turkish language course that you need to do before you start your classes. So that's where you prepare for a Turkish language, and then you start with classes after the language course.
One more question that I have seen a few times.
Okay.
It says, will there be an extension admission time this year?
Not that it's announced, but I would
Yes.
suggest you to follow the official website of Türkiye Bursları, Türkiye Scholarships, because that's where the official announcements are coming from.
Yes, and please don't think about taking any risks, and
Yes.
don't put your hopes into this, that there will be maybe some extension of admission times and procedures. So please, if your documents are ready, if you're already thinking about it, do it in the next 4 days. I almost said 4 years. not years, 4 days.
4 days.
And use this opportunity to come here and to this country and to study at one of the most prestigious universities in Turkey.
There's another question that is asking, do we need to translate our documents to English when we're applying? You don't need to translate everything to English when you're applying. You apply them as with their own original language. Later on, you will get more information about that. So for now, you don't need to translate everything into English.
Translating your documents into English is not a must to be able to apply and to become one of the candidates for Türkiye Scholarship Program. It says here, is 800 words long letter of intent too long?
Well,
it's a fun question.
It is a fun question. Well, we cannot say specific numbers because we don't know what you're trying to say, but I would say there's also the limit of the words that you can use on the system when you're writing, so you can refer to that to be more specific.
Yes. Okay.
So there's another one, ask about medicine.
A lot of questions lately about medicine.
Well,
okay.
Is medicine available and which university? Well, medicine is available in many universities here. You need to make sure you do your research where you want to do and which university is offering it. You'll also have the options, since there are 12 options of universities and programs that you can choose. You'll have the list there, and you'll be able to choose based on the requirements and your preparedness about it to apply and choose which ones.
Yes, and some personal preferences as well. Well, maybe we should. I don't think we pointed out that the 12 universities that they can choose for your list during the application procedure. Maybe we can talk about that.
Yes, so when you're on the step where you're choosing the programs and the universities, you'll have 12 options to choose from. So I would suggest you to go through the universities available based on what you want to do and research them, and based on your needs and based on what you want, choose them wisely. Of course, there are universities that are top universities where the competition is really strong.
Yes.
So you can, you will have to be really good, and you'll need to know that the competition is high based on those. So you need to make your choices, I would say, smart, like based on keeping that in mind as well.
I really think that at this step, at this stage of applying, the research is really important, because you need to know what you want, what kind of program are you looking for, what you think will suit you the best, and in what kind of environment you can function the best. And also on the list, you are sorting your priorities. You are always choosing number one on the list should be your first priority, and then that's how you are aligning those universities and your choices and preferences up. Other than that,
I will also add this other things. When it comes to research like master's and PhD, I would also suggest you to research the universities when it comes to the professors, because here you're really lucky to be able to work with very high qualified academics, professors in very different fields, and I would say I was very lucky to be able to work with my actual professors that are having a lot of high qualifications on research and academics. So I would also suggest you to research the university, research the professors, and based on your needs and based on what you want, you also choose.
Yes. Let's go back to the questions. I've seen a lot of questions about acceptance rate for different departments. Acceptance rate, I would say, depends on that year. If a lot of has been for specific departments. I don't know. I'm seeing maybe business administration or engineering or something like that. That depends on how many students applies that year, how strong the competition is. So, I mean, those are maybe some of the information that we're not able to tell you at this very moment. But I'm sure that if you do your research very well, if you maybe email the universities you want to apply for, or if you email Türkiye scholarship programs, you can get those answers.
This other question is asking, can I get a letter of reference from someone that is an assistant at a university? Well, your reference letters need to show about you and all the informations. So, of course, it is important for you to, if they're academic and knows you, they can always give a reference letter, I would say. Yeah.
Tell me, Jihad, how is your excitement rate at the moment? Are you feeling better?
Well, of course, since the beginning, we've been feeling really, really calm and I would say stressed, but we don't show it, I would say. We've been receiving a lot of questions and we thank you a lot for that. How about you? How are you feeling so far?
I'm actually happy to be here, and comparing to the beginning of this session, of this live stream, I feel a bit more relaxed. But I mean, we've been here for a while and we have answered well, I think most of the questions that I've seen, we have answered them. Hopefully, we have given you the answers you are looking for. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. It's time for us to put this session to an end. So anything you would like to, maybe something that you would like to point out or something that they should be super careful about?
Well, like we've been mentioning since the beginning, everything is important for you. Everything is important what you write, and obviously the last few minutes are ticking in, so don't leave everything on the last minute, I would say, because of the system getting overworked and it can crash. So with that, maybe your dreams can also crash and you will maybe lose your chance to apply for it. So I would say you be smart and apply as soon as possible. To submit your application and to upload the required documents and write everything that is important for you.
I think you have just added some extra stress to everyone who's watching
Well,
with these sentences here. I mean,
it is very stressful though.
Yes, I mean, I understand the excitement. We've been through it, and as stressful as it can be, it's also super exciting, and it's always a great feeling when you actually receive positive comeback, and when you know that announcement that comes.
It's like
The relief. Yes, the world stops for a moment, and you're actually having super hard time to believe. Okay, this is actually happening.
It's like 2 times, 3 times.
Yes. So, for you guys to be able to go through these feelings, please don't miss out the application dates. Again, I know we said this so many times. 4 days left, the clock is ticking, and I know this sentence of mine is maybe putting a lot of pressure on you, but trust me, it's worth it. Don't wait for the last minute. Don't do that to yourself. Speaking for myself and from personal experience, everything that I have been through here and during the application process and everything, it's been such a pleasure. And yes, it's a struggle, but then at the end of the day, you are super proud of yourself, you're super grateful, and you're extremely happy that you are going through these emotions and that you are here where we are right at this moment. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for all the questions that you have asked. I hope we were able to help you with some of your doubts. We wish you a very pleasant day. We wish you a lot of success, and hopefully we will see some of you next year when you come to Turkey. So with this, shall we say our goodbyes?
Yes, we will. Well, I hope you have a good time, and we'll see you hopefully again.
Yes, next year.
Next year, hopefully.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Take care of yourselves.
Hello from students worldwide making dreams real in Turkey. Join our exciting journey over the next few months, from prestigious universities to beautiful cities and colorful social life. We're here to share the essence of being an international student in Turkey. Curious about life here? Join us on this adventure. Türkiye Scholarships 2024 applications are coming up soon. Follow us to catch every moment.
Aim for high.